Welcome to the 5 at 5, and if your team has just crashed out of the Europa League, hit that like button. Yeah, it doesn't really have the same ring to it, does it? But hey, let's get into my 5 at 5. Number 1, offside all the time. Yesterday, the amount of times we got caught offside really frustrated me. It was quite an even game, but this stat was probably the most lopsided, where Arsenal were caught offside 5 times and Sporting weren't caught offside even once. Now, I don't think it's because Sporting were playing a really effective offside trap. I just think it was laziness from Arsenal. The amount of times that we got caught offside, and it wasn't through the middle, it was actually on either wing, where you have the benefit of looking across the whole line and you should be doing better to stay onside, really frustrated me. It was made worse by the fact that on at least 3 occasions, had it not been offside, the referee would have had a serious decision to make in terms of perhaps a penalty or a free kick in a really dangerous situation. Now, these are the fine differences that can make or break a game, where you're constantly on point and on the ball and making sure you're onside and doing the right things, taking the effort to come back onto an onside position. You can make things happen that otherwise, when you get caught offside, gives the referee and the linesman an easy way out. I'm sure in the game yesterday, there would have been at least 1 or 2 interesting VAR moments had they not had the ability to get out of the situation by simply flagging us for being offside. Really frustrating, but it's football, and hopefully we don't make the same mistake against Palace in a must-win game on the week. Number 2, Aaron Ramsdale's positioning. I'm going to be honest with you. There have been a lot of times this season where I've watched Aaron Ramsdale when I'm in the ground and he's so far out of his box that I think to myself, hold on a second, if a striker notices this, then it could be a bit of a risk. He's so far out of his box that you don't even need to go over his head. You can just go round the side, you can just curl it round him. All it takes is for one striker to notice and then say to himself, the next time I get the ball, I'm not even looking, I'm just shooting. And it's a fear that I've had this season, and I didn't expect that in the game against Sporting, we'd get caught out on this in such incredible fashion. Now, we have to credit Pedro Goncalves. He's a player that I think has been very good for quite a few years now, and I'm surprised he hasn't had a big move. Though with his name on the back of his shirt, Pedro G, he sounds more like a crap DJ than he does a good footballer, but he proved to everyone that actually he's got a lot of talent, and what a brilliant finish it was. It does concern me though, because Aaron Ramsdale, even after the goal, have a look at this video, he didn't learn his lesson. He continued to be well outside his box, and if a player on the opposition team gets a lucky break, there's nothing you can do here. So perhaps Aaron Ramsdale needs to play that sweeper-keeper role a little bit better. I get that Arsenal are a possession team. We're against teams quite often that are low blocks, and he keeps that ball ticking over when it breaks and is an option for players to pass it back to quite high up the pitch to stop counter-attacks. But perhaps he needs to be a bit further back. Do you think that goal was down to attacking brilliance, or do you put that goal down to a goalkeeping error? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Number 3, injuries. Erik ten Hag is a witch. I don't know what sort of spell he cast on Arsenal by saying, they always have their players available, which is absolute nonsense, as we know. We've had injuries, a serious injury to Gabriel Jesus, huge player for us. We've had injuries to Emile Smith-Rowe as well. So clearly, he was talking nonsense, but his evil eye hit Arsenal hard, with Tomiyasu and Saliba both getting injured in the game against Sporting yesterday. Now, Tomiyasu left the stadium on crutches. It doesn't look good. Thankfully, though, a bit of inside track on Saliba is that hopefully it doesn't seem too bad. He left the stadium without any strapping or crutches or anything yesterday, so hopefully it's more precautionary than anything. I'm really hoping he can play against Palace, but even if he doesn't play against Palace, I'm sure we can navigate one game against a team that's barely had a shot on target recently and now is unfortunately managerless. So, provided we can get through that game, hopefully Saliba will be back in time for our next Premier League game, because we need a full strength starting 11, as we've seen many times this season, because when we don't, there is a drop off, and we need to make sure we've got 11 finals coming up and we win as many of them as possible. Hopefully we see Saliba back, but we might not see Tomiyasu back all season, or maybe until the last few games of the season. Best of luck to him in his recovery. Number 4, when it rains, it pours. A lot of us fans going there yesterday in awful weather, watching Arsenal getting knocked out of the Europa League. It was never going to be a great fan experience for anyone, but for some fans it was even worse because they were sat here. Just have a look at this video. Clearly something going on with the roof there, and all of that water is being funneled into one area, and as you can see from underneath, all of those fans in those seats have had to just go somewhere else because they can't watch the game without being absolutely drenched. Sucks to be those fans, but yeah, Arsenal, I think you need to fix that roof. Number 5, and I just want you to let me know in the comments, how do you see this exit? You know, there's a huge range from Arsenal fans. One, for me, I'm upset. I'm disappointed. I wanted Arsenal to do something we've never ever done in our illustrious history and deliver a league title and a European trophy double. We've never done it before. That's how I see the exit from the Europa League. I'm disappointed. But there's loads of Arsenal fans that are actually happy. I find that quite weird. I'll be honest with you. I want to win trophies. I've had the pleasure of watching Arsenal win doubles in my time, League and FA Cup doubles, and it's brilliant. It's just such an incredible feeling, and especially going and playing a cup final and winning. Once you've been to a stadium, you realise how much fun it is to go and do that. So I feel like some fans are taking a really, really pragmatic view about this helping us win the league title. Now, I don't deny that, yes, it should leave us in better stead to go and win our remaining Premier League games where we don't have a European game midweek. But I want you guys to let me know in the comments below. Are you viewing this as a positive and that it will increase our chances of winning the league? Or are you disappointed that we've knocked out? Get involved in the comments below, and I'll see you next time after the game against Palace. Take care. Thank you for watching the 5 at 5 as usual. Make sure you do subscribe and hit the like button, even if I can't use our typical line of if your team is top of the league, even though we are still top of the league. So let's remember that. Keep the faith, keep positive, and back the boys till the very, very end.